Hello, welcome back to Blender Sushi LiveNoding. In this episode, I'm gonna do a special a demonstration of the tool that I made the other day. So instead of talking about the technicality, I'm just gonna show you how to use it. So this is one of the results that I made the other day. So you get some kind of mocap data, motion capture data, BVH format from online or the one that you made yourself, and then you can quickly make something like this in Blender. And we're gonna be using animation nodes add-on and Sverchok add-on. So we have that kind of dependency of the add-on. So make sure you have animation nodes and Sverchok add-on in order to do this. And I have blend example right here, but if I click on it, you need to log in into Google services, and yeah, it's not always convenient. So I have another way. Just search for GitHub and Blender Sushi, and we should get to my page. And I put some of my research and experiment work here. So we have that tool, bone to mesh using and bone info. So this is the one, and I talk a little bit about it. And this is the zip. So this thing will change over time, and so this is how I document the whole process. Anyhow, this is the tool. Inside the zip, usually it contains the blend file as well. So you can just copy the link, and then you go to Blender. And if you have Sverchok already installed, you should be able to load the zip very easily. So let's do that. Tap zip, tap spacebar, and then type zip. Just simply load the zip, and then okay. And sometimes it crashes, but hopefully it doesn't. Cool. Okay, so we have the example being loaded already, and it actually comes with the motion capture data as well. Seems to be slightly frozen. Okay, don't worry about it. If you scrub, you can see that the example is working fine. And let me turn off the background and turn off only render. So we have the whole thing. So this is you can see the mesh is actually being generated on the fly by Sverchok, but this outline also this one being generated using animation nodes. And let's say we want to actually change the motion capture data. How do we do that? So let me quickly delete this guy, delete the armature and motion capture data. I'm gonna save this real quick on the desktop. Just save it as mocap meshing. And let's say you want to bring your own motion capture data, so you just import BVH and then find your mocap data. I'm gonna pick one. Let's see. So kick spinning. I think spinning back kick seems pretty good. I'll just import that one. Okay, I forgot to scale and stuff, so I'll do it again. Import BVH, scale FPS, and scale the mocap data as well, 0.1, and do the spinning back kick. Okay, now we have our mocap data and should be working. But then our setup doesn't seems to be working. Okay, let's fix this real quick. Currently, Sverchok is still looking at this all this alpha mesh being generated from animation nodes, and Blender is currently frozen. Maybe I need to turn off Firefox. Oh well. Quit Firefox. And let's delete this guy. Reopen Blender real quick. I'm actually using macOS High Sierra, so it still sometimes froze Blender. Everything is better on my computer. Okay, let's reload Blender real quick. File open. Okay, so we have our data, and this still will not work. And let me try to source the armature. Male spinning back kick, and then try update it, and still doesn't seem to work. I'll switch to Sverchok and then reload. Get selections and update it. Maybe I hide it somewhere. Okay, I actually hide it accidentally. Okay, I'll save it. You can see that this is actually working, but there is some kind of ghosting. This ghost is actually from previous mocap, which is I think it's kind of a bug or something. There's a clashing between animation nodes and Sverchok, but I know that the way to fix this is if I grab this edge thing and then I control G, so I make a new group and I go back to animation nodes and I'll select the new group and then I update everything, and I go back to Sverchok and I tell Sverchok, okay, instead of looking at group 2, look at the new group and get selections. Hopefully this fix it. Okay, so you can see it's fixing the problem. Now it should be working, and we have this spinning kick. We can simply hide the armature. We don't need to see that, and then we have everything working correctly. So if we want to do anything, I bake this guy. Let's say you want to add like particle simulations. I will actually do it this way. I will apply, let's see, this is a mesh, or this is actually a curve, and this is actually the mesh. Okay, delta. Okay, cool. This guy is the one that we want to bake. I'll apply a displacement and then I'll zero out the displacement. This is just a quick trick. And then I will go File, Export, Alembic. And how many frames is this? I think let's make it 100. File, Export, Alembic. 100 frames, selected objects only, and export it out. Hopefully it doesn't crash. Okay, cool. So it's gonna save 100 frames of the mesh being generated on the fly using Sverchok add-on. And yeah, you see that all the mocap data from the bones, it's transferred into animation nodes, and animation nodes is actually doing the instancing of a line that's being generated using Sverchok. And then so the bones become the lines, and the lines become like a mesh, because we are using Sverchok to kind of remesh the line. And we have the curves randomized slightly in terms of radius, and then I also convert the curve into the mesh, and now we are baking it as Alembic. So 100 frames shouldn't take too long, but let's wait for this to finish.